You're watching the 49ers Report by Chat Sports right here on YouTube, but I want to ask you this question. There are so many platforms in this digital age in 2021. What's the best way to get your 49ers content? Is it right here on YouTube? If so, type YT. Do you think it's on Twitter? Get into the comment section and submit your T for Twitter. Do you think it's Facebook? Because we have some people watching the 49ers Report on Facebook as well. Type your FB or podcasts. I love podcasts. You can type your P for podcasts. Let's kick off this 49ers mailbag with this question from the Rainbow Cow. Love the show. We love you. How do you feel about Trey Sermon? Really high on Trey Sermon. I think with the injury to Jeff Wilson, he might not be back until, let's say, the 6 to 8 week mark in the regular season. With the injury history of Raheem Mostert, Trey Sermon is going to have an opportunity to kind of burst on the scene if he performs well in training camp as well as the preseason, which I think he's going to do, and lock up more carries, if not be the RB1. Now, I know in this Kyle Shanahan zone scheme, he doesn't always pinpoint a starter at the running back position, but I think Trey Sermon could put himself in a position where he gets the majority of carries in that backfield. Really big fan of this prospect. Yo, Pop Johnson, best defensive player in 49ers history. Thanks, Chase, for being cool. That's a fantastic question. I appreciate you and thank you for watching us here on the 49ers Report, Pop Johnson. Got to be Ronnie Lott, right? I mean, Ronnie Lott, revered in San Francisco, especially league-wide. He's an Oklahoma grad. Producer Sam, he's a Sooner. Boomer Sooner. Let's get it. So I'd probably go with Ronnie Lott in the history of the franchise. But right now, you can either choose Nick Bosa. You can go with Fred Warner. A lot of really good players on this defense. Niner Faithful chiming in. What do you think about the Niners not being ranked as a top 5 defense? I really think that's a product of them not being healthy last year. With everybody healthy in 2021, I think this Niners defense is going to be really, really good. All of the parts are there. All of the pieces are there. They have a bevy of talent. I don't think there's going to be a massive drop-off from from Robert Saleh, I should say, to DeMeco Ryans. I think DeMeco is going to be a good defensive coordinator. He was a fantastic linebacker for a long time with the Texans and the Eagles. Very good player. He's climbed up quickly throughout the coaching ranks. Kyle Shanahan has a lot of trust in him. That's why he elevated him to take Saleh's spot as DC. I think this Niners defense could be top 5. Peaches and Cream. Really good song, by the way. Do you think that what happened to Richard Sherman ends any chance he comes back to the Niners? Potentially. With all legal situations, you have to let the process play out. I'm not sure if Richard Sherman was under the influence of something, right? I'm not sure if he was just having a bad day. Did he have a mental break? We just got the details as we record this on our live show on Thursday that he was released without any bail. And the judge did say a big reason for that is because Richard Sherman has been a model citizen. He's been a pillar in his community. So right now, looks as though it was a very emotional night for Richard Sherman. We don't have all the details. We'll see if he plays. But what do you think is going to happen? Is he going to play in 2021? He's been a stand-up guy for a long time, a great leader. I don't think one situation like this, it's the first slip-up that he's had, is going to damage his credibility or his legacy. Type Y if you think he's going to play. Type N for you don't think he's going to. Get those votes in down below. Brit125, what it do? Even if he's leaving, in your opinion, how can Jimmy Garoppolo earn the respect that he deserves? I guess it really depends on who you talk to, because a portion of the fan base is very, very, on Jimmy Garoppolo, and they're frustrated with him, which is easy to see because he suffered so many injuries. The other side, though, is pro Jimmy G. I don't know if it's quite 50-50, 70-30 in favor of people liking him or not. Look, the issue has never been ability. I think Jimmy has plenty of ability. But Kyle Shanahan got frustrated with continuously having to trot out C.J. Beathard and Nick Mullins at the quarterback spot. And let's be real here. I'm just spitting the facts. Trey Lance does not have a ceiling. He has so much potential, and he has more ability than Jimmy G. So Kyle Shanahan has a below 500 record in his first few seasons as the Niners head coach. He needs to improve upon that because owners don't have any patience when it comes to consistent losing. Kyle Shanahan wanted his guy. That was Trey Lance. I think it spells the end for Jimmy G, but I think Jimmy G does deserve a lot more respect. Wet Noodle 187, hope you're having a good day. Who would you take, Willis or Warner? My gosh, that's a good question because Patrick Willis, just like Ronnie Lott, one of the best defenders in the history of this Niners franchise. I'd probably side with Patrick Willis because the sample size was longer and he lasted longer. But Fred Warner can rewrite his legacy and really solidify himself as one of the best players in the history of the 49ers. He's an all-pro. Patrick Willis is an all-time great. You can't go wrong with either one of them. Let me hit you with this once more. What's the best way to get your 49ers content? I really want your feedback here. Do you think it's YouTube? Type YT. Facebook? Type FB. Podcast? Type P. If it's Twitter, type T. By the way, give me a follow on Twitter at Chase_Senior. There are so many options to absorb and consume your content here in 2021. We like to think that here on YouTube for the 49ers Report, we're one of the best doing what we do. So, hey, we might type YT, but we utilize all of these platforms here at Chat Sports. So let me know what you think is the best medium to get your content. Dave in the desert, hopefully you're staying cool, my guy. Who's getting the QB snaps preseason? Trey? I think the 49ers are going to start Trey Lance if he goes out there and balls out in preseason and training camp. I just don't think that they're going to sit him if he proves that he's ready to play. I actually think that would be bad football and business practice. You use that future draft capital to move up to number 3. You got your future quarterback. You have a roster surrounding him that is incredibly talented. So the pressure isn't on him. Now, if he's not ready to play, you play Jimmy G and you wait for Trey to get ready. But if he's ready to play, I think you start Trey Lance right from the get-go. This guy has so much potential. He's been wowing everybody throughout the NFL offseason. People are ripping on him for wearing a bra, but he's wearing a GPS tracking monitor because he's trying to get his fitness level up for this season. I think he has the potential to take over the league. So if he plays well, I think the majority of snaps go to him with that first-team offense. To GOAT, you're the GOAT. Josh Gordon, Jordan Matthews, Nikhil Harry, choose one, homie. Hashtag 49ers. My homie, what it do? If I had to choose one to take a chance on for the next couple of seasons, it's Nikhil Harry. Because I think he has the physical attributes that wide receivers on this roster do not have outside of Jalen Hurd. Who, look, Jalen Hurd has plenty of potential, but he hasn't played a regular season game in the last 2 years since getting drafted in the 3rd round out of Baylor. I like the potential of Jalen Hurd, but Nikhil Harry has the size that could replace a guy like Jalen Hurd if he can't stay healthy. 6'4", physical wide receiver, jump ball guy. I think Josh Gordon's best days are behind him. For a team that has to deal with so many injury issues, you want players who are available. Josh Gordon is not available. And I think for Jordan Matthews, I give him the credit for trying to make that switch to tight end from the wide receiver position. But he's making a position switch. So give me Nikhil Harry because I like the upside there, even though his first 2 seasons haven't been all that good from a production standpoint. I cannot wait for 49ers training camp. And once it comes, we're going to be ramping up our content here on the 49ers Report. What is your level of excitement for training camp? Scale it for me in the comment section from 1 to 10. I'm going all the way to 10 because I cannot wait to break down some new, fresh, juicy 49ers news and rumors. Get your votes in down below. And I talk about training camp coming soon. 49ers going to report at the end of the month on July 28th. Okay, first practice July 31st. And as soon as training camp is in session, you know what we're going to be doing? We're going to be upping our coverage here on the 49ers Report, bringing you the latest news and rumors. We're still going to be going live every single Thursday. On Sundays, on game days, we're going to be holding it down, doing watch parties as well. And here's my goal. I really want to get to 40,000 subscribers on the channel by the time the Niners kick off in week 1. I think it's possible. Can we get there? We're at north of 36,000. YouTube.com/49ers TV. Subscribe right now for the best 49ers coverage here on YouTube. I did see a super chat come in. We will get to that right now, Producer Sam. Let's get to that super chat right now from Wes Ware. My guy, I appreciate the super chat. Really, really thank you for supporting the channel. I live in Nashville. Explain why the Niners will beat them for a Christmas gift. That's that Thursday night game for those not familiar. And why we could go further in the playoffs than the Titans. Maybe a Super Bowl matchup? Brah, nah, nah. Okay, Wes. Hey, Nashville's a great time. My dad lives there, partied on Broadway, definitely gotten lit a couple of times. Producer Sam has been in Nashville. He's balled out as well. If you want to host us for a trip, especially that trip when the Niners go to Tennessee for that Thursday game, hit me up on Twitter at Chase_Senior. We can kick it. We can talk some Niners and watch some Niners. So, hey, I think with the Niners and the Titans, both are really good teams. I have a lot of concerns about the Titans' defense. They brought in Bud Dupree, but that pass rush last year was bad. Is the secondary going to be better this year? Because it wasn't all that good last year. We will see. I think the 49ers are the better coach team. I think Trey Lance has more potential than a guy like Ryan Tannehill. Does that translate in week one? But I think they're a little bit deeper. They're better defensively. And, yeah, you got Julio Jones and A.J. Brown at the wide receiver spot. Let's not disrespect Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk, though. I like both of those guys. They're not on the level maybe of A.J. Brown and Julio Jones, but there you go. That's why I think the Niners can make it farther in the playoffs than the Titans. Last question in this mailbag before we get out of here. This one coming from Doggo. Is it good to start Trey in week one instead of Jimmy? You know, I'm sorry if I'm tiring you with saying this. Start Trey Lance if he's healthy. And if he's not, you sit him and you let Jimmy G play. And if Jimmy G is able to stay healthy, we know the quarterback that he can be, especially in an offense like this with a better offensive line, and he's surrounded by elite skill players. So if Trey is ready, you play him. If not, start Jimmy.